Welcome everyone to the third episode of the podcast Odissey. Today I have a returning participant, António, and today we'll be we're like chit-chatting before starting the podcast. And we were chit-chatting about the chaos of life and the chaos of business, and we decided that today it would be an interesting topic.
Yeah. Even for us just to use it to relax a little bit and forget.
Yeah,
or
we
not.
haven't
We will
had the
see.
easiest morning today. I would say, and it's one of those days where car breaks down, the printer doesn't work, and the computer doesn't
Yeah.
help. Even the camera of the podcast was not working. It's one of those days that anything and everything happens, but it's a good example that we have to have some emotional intelligence, if I must say.
Yeah. And how to tackle these days, right? Because it's not easy. And today the energy is not that great. So let's see if we'll finish the podcast.
No, I'm sure we'll finish with better energy, and it's also helpful. It's a great example. In that talking and having a little bit of fun and like just stopping what you were doing just helps.
Step back a little so we can proceed.
So yeah, let me start like by asking you a question. What do you think is one of the biggest challenges we have nowadays with? And we can talk about our industry. We haven't talked much about our industry directly in the podcast, but I think it's also helpful like to open up to our listeners and viewers. What is it that we do, and how much stress does it involve?
Yes, I believe in any service provider, the most challenging part is always the manage of people, because they are the ones that provide us the biggest challenge. Because we need to be able to change between clients and expectations, and some are more difficult to deal with. So you can do everything exactly the same thing with one client, and the other one will complain.
And don't you think that our industry is more connected to that, is more like depending on that? Because I am a customer, and you are a customer, and Matheus, our producer, is also a customer in different areas, and I behave a certain way, you would behave a certain way, but most of the people we work for or we work with, don't you think they're this manic behavior of this Amazon Prime expectation of everything? People order food and they expect it like 2 minutes to be in their table and to be well cooked and to be fresh. But and don't you think that this has a big influence on that? And
Yes, here, well, we need to understand that in this case, in our service, we are discussing and dealing with the belongings, the personal belongings of our clients. So our clients are someone that are moving the entire life for another country. It's not just for the end of the street. Most of the part they are changing continents.
Yeah.
So all the emotions are already
Up the sky.
exactly, are on stream. So they are afraid if everything will arrive well, on top of if I will be able to adapt to a new country, a new life, a new job, and then they have to wait for the goods to arrive, so they can have
To go to customs and
so
to have the papers.
exactly, and then
Settle in.
is they arrive, and most of the time they don't have them, and your home is where you have to have peace, right? So you you are not really starting a new life if you still don't have your home. So we need to understand that. And yes, on top of this, people are nowadays are used to instant feedback.
That's the issue. That's one of the issues I have nowadays.
Yeah, and it's difficult for people to understand that one ship will not be teletransported to your house.
It would be nice to have teletransportation. That would be nice.
Yeah, so but still people are used to order something Amazon next day, even if it's Sunday, they will be at your house.
But don't you think that it's part of our job and the people around us to manage the expectations of the people? If you always expect things to be done immediately, then they are not going to be done well.
Yeah, and not just that, because you will live in a constant state of anxiety, because you will be constant trying to have the email answer of your
But it's a
question.
cultural anxiety as well, you know.
Yeah,
Technology has a lot of influence on that.
but even us is difficult, because we also suffer for that, even with our partners. Why didn't give the code? Please send me the code. Kind reminder that are everything
You know,
but kind.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I was telling you that I got an email last week. One email came in at 8 p.m. in the night, and then I got a reminder like at 8 a.m. next morning. So I was like, okay.
yeah, but it's not just that. People are used now. We used to think, well, with emails everything instant, but now we have WhatsApp.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the guy
even
who
more
invented
instant.
WhatsApp should be arrested.
So people are waiting to see if see if
But
the mark appears that you read.
but don't you think you are
So
going?
if you read that, why you don't answer? Because most of the time you don't have a quick answer, and you shouldn't, because if you are answering everything quickly, you are not doing your job
Like
well. You
addressing
need
well, yeah.
to digest the problem and find a solution and present it. If I present an instant solution,
It's like putting a bandage on
there
a
is
broken arm.
yeah, that's a great chance that will be not be the great answer for the problem. It's difficult. It's difficult to deal with that. It's
But don't
difficult.
you think it's a downhill we are all going as a culture, as a
Well,
generation, as people, you know, with this
um,
manic behavior of expecting
yeah,
everything to be done like in the moment,
yeah, and you see in the news that that's not healthy, because you see more and more people depending off drugs to be able
anxiety
to cope
pills. Yeah.
with this state of anxiety, stress, and yeah, this is not healthy. But unfortunately, something that is present every day.
You think it would be possible to go back?
Well, I don't know. People are afraid of ChatGPT and the sorts.
And they should.
Well, maybe that can be an answer, because they will have an instant answer, and then if something needs a more detailed, more a solution that needs to be uh, digested and be checked,
But don't you
they
think if
probably will understand that okay, the
and I think
machine.
we as people are missing one key point, and that's one of the things that intrigues me the more is like I use ChatGPT for certain tasks and to help me create like brainstorm and do like intelligent stuff, which is quite a helpful tool. But don't you think people should also be afraid that these AIs will take over their jobs? Because if you do everything automatically, then why would I need to have someone employed for certain, like if it's only communication or marketing or design or this or that? You know, the people are not really seeing this like through.
Well, that is a question that I of course I don't have the right answer, but I believe that the question is not seeing if this will be a problem, this will take our job, but this is something that is here. It will not go away. It just will evolve and improve. So you have to think the other way around. How I adapt to this, because the humanity has been gone from so many processes and changes,
I
and
miss the 90s, so.
anything goes back. Okay.
But we should. We
So
should go
even
back in
if
certain things.
the cycle of history repeats, we are seeing right now, but it's not the same. Okay, it's just the same issues with more problems or
different
with
actors.
different ways to tackle. So it's here. It doesn't matter if it will be a problem to you or a solution. It's here. So you have to think about that. How I will adapt, how I will take advantage of it, how I can use it for my benefit. And if everyone have this, in my opinion, of course, think the problem like this, we'll be prepared. Maybe it will not be easy. Maybe we will suffer.
It depends
But
because you can be prepared, but if the people on the other side of the line are not prepared, then it's not so easy to
yeah,
get.
of course, there is a social responsibility that
Exactly.
should be tackled, and fortunately, it's not my job to think about that.
Wouldn't you like to be a politic?
No, I believe the ones that would like to be a politic, they are not great people, or at least sane.
Yeah.
No,
an
of
easy
course
job.
not. It's not
Also,
something.
also not an easy
I
job.
have this impulsion of saying bad things and try to change it, but at the same time, it's a very ingrate job. Either you are,
It's a very lonely job for you to try
yeah,
to change things.
you don't. I don't know. We are not in the in 700s where you find someone who's brave enough. I will move this. I will make a new country. I'll be the one saving. We are not in that time. So is important because even if you have this compelling of changing and help the other people, it's great because you will not be able, and getting back for the beginning of the conversation, to please everyone. Okay,
It's always dependent on the perspective, you know.
and
Some
this,
people are just not pleasable, you know.
yeah,
If you want to look for trouble, you're going to find it. It's kind of also, I believe in energy, and if you're always looking for trouble, then you're going to end up finding trouble.
thing
And
is,
that's exactly
why
it.
you want to be politic? You will be in constant trouble, or either you really have a mission and you feel that you have to, and it's difficult. I'm not seeing anyone right now where I think that have a mission, or you just want protagonism. I don't know. I will not go through through this part, but it's not something that I but again, I believe, yes, we as a society have to tackle this problem, have to think about the issues it will bring. But again, I believe it's the same thing. Look for the problem, how we can improve the society. If you think, okay, great, we have this tool. This tool will take more time for you to enjoy your family and blah, blah, blah. And for me, the biggest question is, the developers, or not developers, but the owner of these tools, that's where you have to think about and you focus your problem, because you will shift from countries that have the power to move for some companies that will have the power,
Eternal issue of the elites.
the power to control the globe. So you have Google, Microsoft, now
Tesla.
now Tesla, okay, the
Apple.
maybe Apple, but I believe they are losing that race. But again, so we will have like 5 companies and maybe China, one government taking care of that. Now that's your focus, that's your problem, because they will have everything in their hands. So shift the focus on the tool, because it's a tool. It's something. It's up to you to use it and use it for good or for bad. And
I think
maybe think about how we can make laws that will prevent these 5 guys or wherever to be able to control it. Because if you think that Google has more money than most of the countries, there are countries that don't have the same amount of money that Google has. And people say, ChatGPT is better, Google. No, they will be the ones. Okay, so we have to be sure that these 5 guys, 6 guys, wherever.
Jeff Bezos is marrying in Venezuela.
Yeah, that's. You see, you have one guy that just rent an entire city. That's something that, I don't know. They are like emperors and kings in 2000 something years ago. Yeah, that's the
I think
main problem.
One of the issues that I see nowadays is that I think we completely lost track of what's right and what's wrong, and what's because back, you know, we've made many mistakes as a humankind, you know, along the way. I think we're going to continue to make them, but I think one of the biggest mistakes we've done from a few years back to now is that we completely lost track, you know, of what's wrong and what's right. And we see politicians nowadays, you know, I repeat so many times a lie, it becomes a truth, you know, and they attack certain countries and they say they are, it seems like the person who's being attacked it's like proposing the aggression, you know, like provoking the aggression. and I think we've lost track as humanity, and the kids, the young kids, the generation, social media, everything is connected within the same chaos. You know, it's like the butterfly effect, and we've gone a long way in terms of advancing evolution, this and that, and I think we've skipped basic steps that we should have kept. Education, I think, is the most important thing.
Well, for me, this is a difficult point, but what concern me the most is how quick the good and bad, how the society think what is good and it's bad change.
Everyone is a
Okay,
judge nowadays.
because I don't know, like 10 years ago, I will be just think, wow, humanity is progressing with this optimism. You see, technology is improving, everything is happy, everyone is improving their life, blah 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 blah, blah. And then you have this I don't know what happened, but the perception of the society changed quickly. People become more insensitive, more I don't know,
Materialistic.
more egocentric, and it was very fast.
Narcissistic.
What someone will be ashamed even to think, not to say or defend. Nowadays, that's the norm. You see, so the perspective of the world keeps changing, and I don't know. Humanity needs to sit down and think what we are, what we want to be, and maybe that's the point. Even going back to AI, do we want as a society? Do we want to the same guys have the power and keep getting richer and richer, and you will reach a point that you will ask for what? You are the richest guy. You have everyone in your hands, but you will not be the first one because this keeps changing. And I think that now is the shift of the culture is more egocentric, more centered in you and me and me and me. I want this, I want now, blah blah. And
It's
maybe
me,
this
me,
is-
me, me, me first.
Yeah, and I don't know when we get.
Do you think we
to
all
this,
behave like that
a
with
bit,
each other?
yes.
Do you think it's like we are driven to behave like that? You know, you go to the streets and you see everyone is running around.
I don't
I
know.
go to the supermarket and I see people like fighting over bread, and I want to pass in front of you, and I
Yeah.
want to pass in front of that, just to buy bread. You know, it's everyone is so manic running around.
I don't know. Maybe people are disconnected because you need to feel that you belong to someone. You have to have a tribe. Okay? That's how the human being has managed to reach this point. We are a tribe. Together we are better. Unity is always stronger.
Homo sapiens.
Yeah. So, and then of course we had other fights because it's me versus them because they are making a threat to us. Okay. Now that line is very. I was a beating because you are in a global society. You belong to a country, but you live in your house. You don't know your neighbors. You go to work. You go to a house. You just have this family.
But it depends on how. It depends
and you
on.
don't feel connected to where you are.
But I think it's also that depends on the people. You know, I know everyone around me. I know my neighbors. I get along with my neighbors. I go to their houses to have dinner, and they come to my house to have dinner. I have even I have the keys to my neighbor's house. You know, it depends on what you value. I think we've lost track. That's exactly the point. I think we've lost track of what's really valuable. You know,
Yeah.
what is more important for you as a family, to have a nice car or to have a nice house? For your kids to be fed and well dressed, or for you to be using like a super brand shirt? You know, I think people lost track of what's really valuable and what's not valuable. I remember Jeff Bezos is a good example. You know, I saw a video many years ago when he was already a gazillionaire, and he was being interviewed in his car, and he was driving a Honda, and it was like, and the interview was like, "Why are you driving this car?" It was a Honda or Toyota. It was something like a basic car. And the interviewer was asking him, why are you driving this car? You could drive any car. you want. You can have any car you want. And he said, this is a perfectly good car. Like, why would I buy a Lambo or drive a Ferrari, and this is a perfect good car. I'd like to drive this car. And it was like, wow, this is nice. This fellow has everything, and he chooses like to be simple and drive this car. And now you see him like closing half-heartedly to get married. What
Yeah.
changed
I don't know.
from one point to the other? What changed? What made him?
I don't know. Culture of image. Maybe now for you to be successful, you have to be viewed and be known and spoken.
That's one of my biggest
Maybe
questions.
maybe that's the
Is it important to be successful or to be relevant? It is important for you to be loved or for you to be known. I have no desire to be known. I hate social media. My only point is like spending time with my family and really have real friends and people that care about you, because then it's like completely empty what you do or what you have. What's the point of being a super famous football player and being like have a bus of people driving around you just because they're sucking on your neck, like vampires.
maybe it's pressure. I don't
Peer
know.
pressure
Maybe it's that because
can be.
I'm sometimes we see news that this new generation, they don't want internet, they don't want social media because they think that it's toxic to them. So
It is
they
toxic to them.
wish to have less time on internet, but again they use it because if they are not there in their mind, they don't exist. Their individuality is threatened.
That's a good point.
Now Jeff Bezos, why he choose that? I don't know, man. Just
It was funny, I remember that topic because I remember seeing the video. It was like driving his car. And
if we are not being recorded, I would say other thing, but I don't know. Just measure things.
Don't you think this is also an issue in like we are always controlling what we want to say? We've never talked so much about freedom and freedom of speech and acceptance and this and that and tolerance, and we never been. I think I've been beating this point every podcast because it's really one of the things that makes me want to change it, and so that's why I mention this point all the time, is that we've never spoke so much about tolerance, and we've never been so intolerant to each other.
Well, I choose to believe that human being was the same. We have I don't know 2,000 million years without of change. Okay, if we are the same species, we are 2,000.
The Australopithecus were not fighting about Facebook.
Yeah. But the thing is,
for sure.
we are the same. We think
Homo
the
erectus.
same. Now I lost track. What were I saying? Come on.
You're getting old, man. That's a good example.
Oh, I'm tired.
when you don't,
I'm tired.
This is what chaos makes.
But I'm trying to grasp what I wish to say.
No, don't.
The thing is, we are the same, the same human. We didn't evolve, but now we are in a society where you have to be present. You have to show yourself.
I think it's too much.
Yes,
it demands too much.
I remember you're saying that nowadays it's no. I believe nowadays it's more known. You have a camera in your face, so people see you doing that because always the same. But in the second world, you don't have constant feedback from the news what are happening. So most of decisions are being taken on the sides, and you had the time to decide that either for good or for bad. I mean, not that. But nowadays, it's everything is instant. You are being recorded. You know that you are not having. You have to have your opinion and say it what they think.
But don't you think that it's also something that is not like really?
It's crazy.
If you think it,
it's
if
crazy.
You think through, it's a bit crazy because we were speaking with Matheus before the podcast started, and it was like everyone is an expert in everything right now. Nowadays everyone has an opinion about cinema, politics, football, medicine, everything. I'm a person that I have a lot of opinions, but I have a lot of opinions about certain stuff that I know, and stuff that I don't know. I have to learn about them, and then I can like comment, comment, but not really give my opinion. I wouldn't be able to give a feedback on a certain topic. That's out of my area of expertise, and nowadays everyone is like really keen to evaluate, give feedback, and usually bad feedback, because
Yeah,
people thrive on even if you open up the television. I'm getting
that's
more
the
and more like exhausted by the television,
head up.
because
Yeah,
it's really exhausting, because you d- you open up the television. I don't know if in other countries it's different, but in Portugal, you open the television and you see a guy has been invited to speak on channel 4 or channel 3, and you think it's like, oh, what's the guy doing? It's like he discovered the medicine, or he launched a company, he did something. Well, no, he's gonna go there because he participated on a reality TV show and he slapped a woman, or he did something like. And I was like, okay, so you are giving this really valuable time and opportunity for this guy to be talking in a show, a live show, seen by millions of people across the country, and you give to this character. And, it's funny to me,
you see,
because we are giving bad examples to everyone all the time.
but they won the on politics. Those are the guys, you see. I'm
But
not
it makes
very
sense.
firm any
But
names, but we
but
have that here in our country, other countries. That those are the guys that I
but
don't
does
know.
it make sense?
Well,
Are those really the guys that you want like? I know
they
a
are
lot of
the,
people that are
they
that are
are the
successful.
loudest. I believe is that the key point. They are the loudest, and with that, even if you don't even think about what they are saying, they are the loudest, so they maybe are the ones that are right. Probably is that.
Being loud is not being right.
Yeah.
I would never accept that. And I refuse to be part of that mentality, and refuse to go that way, because I believe that, like, across the country and across the world, there are so many bright people that
Well,
have so many bright ideas to share. They just need an opportunity to do it.
the thing is, my I'm optimistic, guys. Not always,
And you shouldn't be. You should have
but you see,
all the emotions during the day. It's normal.
maybe in 10 years this will be different. We even taking the example of social media, that maybe are the thing we need to point for all the problems right now, because probably it is. But in the beginning, everyone was excited and post photographs and whatever and videos doing dumb things. And nowadays, most of people don't do that. They don't even comment. They want to see the guy, the influencer do that. But you don't share pictures
Don't
of
get me
how
started
you.
on influencers, please. I want to behave on the podcast, so don't get me started on influencers.
But you don't share the same thing you are used in the beginning of the social media.
Yeah.
And you see kids now, they are more conscious that what you do online that has a repercussion, and they are more
That cancel culture.
yeah, not just that, but also wherever you do that, the people will see and will be forever. Okay. Nowadays, we still used to do dumb things. Of course, it's part of growing up.
If I had YouTube back then, I would be on YouTube for sure in many viral
Yeah,
videos.
and fortunately, the kids now are not posting that. They are conscious, but again, this have also a negative way, because the kids don't want to do bad things that are needed for growing up, because someone will film them, tape them. But still, getting back where I start, we are constantly changed, and I'm hope that in 10 years, people will be tired of everyone have an opinion
Hopefully.
and post everything online, and we will shift for another
Hopefully.
thing.
Yeah, I think
And
so as
that's
well.
that's
I
that's
think
I
it's
believe that
seasonal.
will we need to learn. We need to be aware that we people are manipulated, because it's more than a given that if you have a bad intention and you want to to manipulate people. It's
You can do it,
possible.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
do it.
Fake
And
news, spreading fake news around.
hopefully, most of the people are aware of that, and that will, I believe, is the beginning of the change, next change, that everything you see is not true, and people are starting also to be aware that even with the AI again, even if you see something, it's not given that will be what is really happening. So it's like in the beginning of television, everything you saw in TV was the norm and is so important, and the TV is starting to don't have that much influence
Everything is
right
a
now.
everything is a tabloid.
If you see something on TV, of course, there are still people that
To blame the sun for that.
yeah, still give them a lot of
Gossiping news.
credit, but most of the people don't even watch TV right now. So it's
Yeah.
it's
You
it's
know,
a tide that is coming.
It's
but is
funny.
going
It's
away.
funny. It's funny you mentioned that. You know, I have follow a few channels on YouTube, and I encourage you guys and the listeners and the viewers. There's one channel. I don't remember the name. I think it's Buff Dudes. It's a big guy. They are brothers. It's a Buff Dudes, and they are brothers, and they uh, the tendency of the videos is for them to recreate like certain eras of time, you know. So I spent a week living like a guy from the 90s. I spent a week living like a guy from the 80s, and the quality of the content is really wonderful. This guy makes a brilliant like video, and I encourage like viewers and listeners to go and see it, and it's wonderful. You know, you see the guys, and it's so funny for you to see. Actually, it takes you on a trip of a nostalgia trip, you know, and you see and you remember like, wow, these were nice times, and well, they had bad things like everything, but I encourage our listeners and guys our age and people our age to go and see their videos, because it's a fun ride, and it's like a good remembrance, you know. I've been having this nostalgia feeling for quite a while, you know, because everything is so different from what I believe now, and from my taste is, my appreciation is, even our business nowadays. And going back to the moving industry, you know, I'm a really like a connected person. I like to speak with people. It's one of my passions, and to travel around and to meet them and to know who you are, know where you come from. But people are losing that, even on what we do on a daily communications, and you kind of feel lonely sometimes, you know. I don't know if you have that feeling, but I do feel lonely sometimes. You're surrounded by people, but you like, okay, but where's the real connection?
I believe that's also part of the rhythm of life right now. We don't have time.
But we
don't have
should.
time
We have to make time.
because
We have to make
again,
time. We have to make time.
getting back for the beginning of conversation, you have to answer everything now. You have to do everything now, and
But
you need
cook-
to provide. And if you don't, if you don't do that, or if you are not able to achieve in the same time of the other, again, peer pressure, you are not being successful. So that's the part of we are now, and this, of course, maybe have an influence of people get lonely, and that's why also again you have the opportunities to know your neighbors, and that's great. But this is not the
Common.
case. Is not common because people are disconnected,
I know.
and I believe that's the key part of how everything is this wild, because you connect with someone you see on the internet, because we are constantly online. The internet gives us constant feedback, and even at your home, sometimes I'm in my couch, my phone, my wife in my phone, and TV. What the wife?
Yeah.
What? Why? Because I will see someone doing some dumb shit, and
like doing this.
I lost
scrolling videos.
lost 3 minutes of my life. Why?
Because your brain is getting addicted to the dopamine as well.
That's
you know, it's
it.
one of the things that
That's it.
really affects you.
Our brain needs constant information. We are addicted to information, so we need the answer right now for the email, because my brain is demanding the information right now. You see? And yeah, what is the solution? I don't know.
I think the solution is also, it's always an internal job, you know, my job, your job, and the job of the people around us. I think we definitely need to make a quick break and stop and try to educate the people around us. I think that's one of one of the ways we have to do it, you know.
But it's difficult because the society is wired like that right now.
But you have to keep
I
plugging.
cannot
And you have
say,
to keep
"Oh,
pushing.
Fábio, I will not answer this guy because I need a moment for myself." It's not always easy because you still have to
But
do
you can
your
take a
job.
moment. You can take a
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
You can
just
breathe
use
and
an
take a moment.
example. But we really need to step back, look for the problem, and see, does this really matter? Does this, if I answer this
You need to do
email,
some farming.
if I'm answered this bad email as I wish to answer, is this help me? Will this make me progress or help me the rest of the job have to do? If the answer is no, just say, yeah, answer the most innocuous way
But
you
you do
can.
it well, huh? You know, you don't get to see. You know, from my side as a spectator, it's much easier for you to see my emotions than I see yours. But I think you're doing a good job. I still need a lot of improvement on that side.
Thank
I'm way better. I have to say, really proud of myself. I've been like really behaving really well.
That's the way I believe
I have
you
a big
to-
heart.
Yeah, but that's the thing. For me, what I'm is not always easy because sometimes you let
You
the
want to go to the shower and
Australopithec
cry?
you have in your heart to be
Wants to
stronger
come
one,
out.
smashing the keyboard.
Wants to come out.
And then when I finish to write the email, I have my dopamine, and then I delete it. Okay.
Yeah, I do that. You know,
And I answer the way I'm supposed to answer. But sometimes you need to leave it out. You cannot just swallow that. Because
you're
if you
gonna
swallow
implode.
that, you also have to swallow some pills. So,
Yeah. And you have to implode.
so yeah, just write it down, step back, we'll drink some water, look for the problem and see, I really need to answer that? No. So I will not do that. I will
So I
just
really
answer.
need to read this now.
Yeah. Again,
I'll take a coffee.
I was before going
That's a good
starting
design.
this, I was just okay, I will just bleep this guy. He's trying to be smarter than everyone, so I will give you the proper answer. But then I will go upstairs and I will just maybe not delete everything because you still have to give an answer, but don't feed the fight. Okay.
Sometimes the best way for you
Don't
to win a
feed.
fight is don't enter the ring.
No,
That's the best way.
Of course, you have to answer because it's your job to do that, and sometimes you have to do it for legal purpose. You have to give an answer, okay? But you don't have
The legal
to
part is important.
give them full. Don't give them the full. Don't
I think
give them gasoline.
I think the best way to put it is just sometimes you don't need to change your level. You know.
Yeah.
Some people are here and we are trying to be here, or sometimes it's the way around, and you just don't need to lower the level to go somewhere else. Just do the things that we used to do.
I have two maximums. First, I'm not smarter, or at least I'm as smart of the other guy I'm answered. Because when you try to be the smartest guy, he will be the dumbest. Because even if you sometimes are the smartest, when you are the dumbest, God, that hurts. So try at least to be as smart of that guy. Don't try to I don't know, give them half answers or give them wrong answers, trying to simulate something.
arrogant.
No, give the proper answer, explain, and when you did explain that what they answer is not possible. Because if not possible, it doesn't matter if you answer that now or if you're trying to sell a lie.
It's managing.
And then in 1 week, 1 month, we have to go back for this point. No, just it's not possible. You don't want it, you don't want it.
It's managing the expectations, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's like
that
being
helps.
honest, being open. It helps.
That helps because if you say, look, I know that you want your things now, that doesn't gonna happen.
I know what you want, a miracle, but yeah, those don't happen.
You let the people just
Be people
be people and get the Australopithecus
out.
take care of the conversation. In the end, yeah,
Okay.
that's
Passover.
not possible.
You wanna? resolve.
The best way or the best scenario is this one.
Do you think I'll let my Australopithecus many times out?
Well, I believe not. I don't know how you were before. You are saying that.
I've been-
But that's what I'm trying to do, but it's not easy because there are days where you have your stress levels on the max and you sometimes
and it's funny
you will
that
regret. And that's before I click send, I was there before. I will regret. So no, I want to. It's costly.
I think we can buy punching bag to the office.
It's costly. It's
be
costly not do that, but in the future that will be the best answer. And you have to always to look what will be the best outcome for me, for my company, and for the client. Because even though it's still your client, okay, you don't. It's not your job to fight with the client. It's not your job to. Your job is helping, and you have
Being
to
diplomatic.
to go through the email or the conversation and split what is
Important, what's unimportant,
important.
what's offensive. It's what
Don't hear the bad things and see, look, this is your problem. Okay?
makes sense.
So the solution is this one.
I think we're on the right track.
It's not worth it to lose time. And sometimes, of course, you have clients that they want the problem. That's what I'm facing right now. I know what they want. But what they want is take advantage of something that is not possible. It should not have this advantage. And in this case, it's difficult. Either you call it, look, I know that you want to take advantage of this. It will not work.
That would be a nice conversation.
That's an answer. Okay? Look, I know what you want.
Exactly what you want. I've read
I
you. I know your script.
You want a brand new car. I also want that. But this is not the way you will get it.
Yeah.
Okay? This is an answer. But this is also fuel.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
It's like
to
putting a
balance.
fire out with gasoline.
It's not always easy, but we have to take time.
But that's a funny thing. People are slowly getting to know more about our business. And when you think about removals and what we do as a company, we do this podcast for fun, and we do it also to put out many of the things we have kept inside, and also to speak about certain topics and also basically to have fun and but people, when they think about removals and what we do, and they think it's a bunch of guys, illiterate guys that don't know how to speak anything and come up and pick this table up and take it away. But what we do is so much more than that, and it's funny that the type of people we deal on a daily basis and the many people we meet, and I think one of the treats of what we do. And it's exactly that, we deal with nice people, we deal with not so nice people, we do business like worldwide, and it's funny for you to interact with different like commercial behaviors and
culture, because again, there is cultures that you have to fight to get a good deal. Something that we are not
that's
used.
a good topic for our next episode.
We are not used in that in Europe or in Portugal.
The price.
It was like decades ago, but it's not the norm. And sometimes you need to be aware of that things. Okay, you need to be always understand
That's
the other
part
person.
of emotional intelligence.
Because you will only be able to give the proper answer. I'm not saying the basics of the work. Of course, you don't need to know everything about the people. But when you reach these points, or when the people is getting too stressed, because again, it's easy to be in this position in this field. You need to understand who this person is, where this come from,
the background. Like putting yourself in other people's shoes.
Exactly. So really understand if the people, if the person that you are, your client that you are helping, doesn't see the problem as you do, it's your job to take your time and explain. Look, I know you have these concerns, but it doesn't work like this here. Exactly. This is what will happen, because people need to get predictions and know what will occur, and is that and explain.
My question to you is, when are you launching your book?
Sorry?
Your book.
By book? Oh, never.
on how to address a manic customer?
I don't know. Never. I have difficulty in Finnish things like this. But thank you.
You should write a book.
Maybe I
you
think
know?
about that.
It's a funny. It's an objective. It's true.
But the thing is, always understand that. Okay, before we start that, we talk about nowadays society is used to talk to a machine, forgetting that who is answering till now is still a person. So you just see a white page with some words there, and it's easy to dissociate the answer to a human.
Yeah.
And even us, it's difficult. Even us, this guy is taking my patient away, blah, blah, blah. And you have to, okay, he's a person.
Yeah.
He's moving, he has a kid, doesn't have their things. Maybe he's saying something they even don't mention, intend to say that because it's a stressful situation. And if you put yourself in the other person's shoes, it's easier.
It helps you.
Okay, even if the other guy is politically correctly saying a difficult person, he will also be prepared. This guy is not.
But
He don't have good intentions. He has bad intentions. And if you do that, if you understand, yeah, you are not a great guy. It will also help you to defend yourself. Because if you answer like if he's a regular person, you will be in a bad position. Yeah. If you answer already knowing that that guy wants you to provoke you, you will answer differently.
But I have to say this. The good thing is that we don't get many of those a day or during the year. Luckily we do. Yeah. What we do is quite good, and
yes,
that's a good part.
Getting back to the question of TV, and everyone wants to see blood because, again, it's human nature. You always focus on the negatives. Yeah. If I hear someone in the radio that there is an accident, I already know that 2 lines will be stopped. One because of the accident, the others because they want to see. It's part of humans. And nowadays it's important to just breathe. Yeah. I think, okay.
I think that's a good way to finalize.
We have one difficult client per month. The other 200, 300 clients, I don't know how many we have per month. They are great. Yeah, that's good. And that help you also go to your house, enjoy your family, not think about someone that is not worthy.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good points. I think we should all really embrace this and think about ourselves, what we do for ourselves, and where we want to go as individuals, and finalize today's episode exactly with that question. What is it? Is what I'm doing really making me happy? Is successful really? What is success? And is this what I really want? Yeah. I think those are good questions, and you can leave the audience with these kind of questions. Yeah. And again, thank you, Antonio, for joining me. Thank you, Matheus, for producing and putting up with us and the flies. Thank you, the flies, for participating and making the podcast more fun. And stay tuned for the next episodes, because we are getting really nice people involved. And I think on the next episode, we'll have someone that will come like a really well-known person to participate and to be interviewed. So it's going to be fun. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Matheus.